What is going on, everybody? This is Scrampunks episode 28. Yes, we are about to do our gaming conversations. We love Xbox on this channel, mostly, but we're going to talk about it today, y'all. We have the panel. We have our great leader, MM2K. Say what's up to everybody, MM2K.
Man, you make me sound like Stalin and shit, man.
You're the investment man of our podcast, then.
I'm nobody's leader. Hey, look, it's your boy MM2 Calm. Okay, I'm gonna be calm today because there's a lot of talk going around, and I don't want to trigger anybody. Griggity. I don't want to trigger anybody, so I'm going to be on my best behavior. You know what I'm saying? But big ups to the panel. It's good to see everybody there. You know what I'm saying? As they fill up in the chat. Can y'all hear me? Am I good?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay. All right. My equipment, is messing up. But no. Big ups, and I'm ready to talk these games, man. So let's get it going.
All right. Hey, man, you sound great tonight, by the way. I want you to know that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, kind sir.
Next up is my main man. He's Xbox sometimes, and sometimes he don't fuck with him. But Nito, what's up? Nito.
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, making sure I'm not bonding, because sometimes that happens. But, I have a hell of a day, man. I had a short shift at work, but when I woke up, I got FC Violent. Like, where's my intro at? And I was like, oh, shit. So I had to work on his intro. Finally got that shit done. So next time you post a video, you're going to see a brand new intro that's going to look nice. That is bullshit one, but you're going to have a nice one. Also, speaking about FC Violent, go check out his new podcast. He did a phenomenal job, especially for the first time hosting a podcast. Big ups to FC Violent.
Yo, my man. He knocks it out the park, man. Y'all get Xbox new John Connor, man. Y'all got to go check it out. Of course, after this, but y'all check it out. He did a phenomenal job, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Good job, buddy. Now we have our special guests. They call him Op. Thank you for coming to Scrampunks. We appreciate you being here, brother.
Oh, no problem at all, man. No problem to help out.
Definitely.
All right. Yeah, so let's go ahead and just cut right to the chase, y'all. I'm here all over Twitter, all over YouTube. Can we have a conversation about Xbox Game Pass going to other platforms in the future? Can we talk about Xbox exclusives? Well, so-called exclusives going to other platforms. Can we talk about that? Because some people is not liking it. Some people is loving it. Xbox going against Xbox. And the PlayStation guys are sitting back enjoying it. They're laughing like, look at this shit. They're just going back and forth. What do you guys think about this? MM2K, we'll just go ahead, brother. Just tell us how you truly feel.
You know what? This is a Griggity. This is MM2 Calm. Okay. I'm going to go last, my brother. I'm going to go last.
You're going to go last?
I'm going to pass the peas like they used to say. I'm going to hand it over to Nethos. We're going to get Nethos first. I'm going to go last. I'm MM2 Calm right now. I feel the effervescence. I'm going to relax.
All right.
All right. Well, with that said, I guess I'll go. So what are we talking about? We're talking about what's going on with Xbox lately, the news about the cloud
Xcloud thing, and
is Xbox dead? Is Xbox dead, Nethos?
Yeah. Well, as you saw in my video, Dirt Criggity, and we had a good conversation about it. If the Game Pass heads to the Switch, it may just be the beginning of the end for the Xbox hardware as we know it. With Game Pass heading to the Switch, probably exclusives day and date there, playing Halo Infinite and Gears of War 5 on a Nintendo Switch, even though I fucking wouldn't do it as my main way of playing, it just signals one thing. And this is a perception moving forward, no matter how much we want to damage control, no matter how much we don't want to believe it. But as soon as those games are playable on the Switch, not saying native, it can be streamed, whatever, people are going to start asking, oh, when are these games hitting my PlayStation? Because as soon as it hits a rival console, that tells people Microsoft's going multiplat. Maybe they're letting these games be played literally anywhere. So a perception moving forward is, do I need to invest into my Xbox, or how long do I need to invest in my Xbox? How long until it just hits the PlayStation and that'll be my primary way to play? It gives them an exit stage to leave the hardware business and let everyone else do it so they can save on R&D. And with that said, it's the end of the Xbox hardware as we know it, though Xbox as a brand will stay very relevant.
Very interesting, my brother. Again, this is MM2 Calm. I'm not gonna say nothing just yet. Ops, what you got to say about this, my brother?
Didn't Phil said consoles are not going anywhere for Xbox?
Say that again.
Didn't Phil said the consoles for the Xbox are not going anywhere anytime soon?
Ooh, get him up. Don't let him get away with that shit. Don't let him get away with that shit. Get him.
Go ahead, because I was gonna go ahead too, but go ahead.
He said for a time being, future going ahead, consoles are staying, so they're going to keep manufacturing consoles for them.
Mm-hmm.
You've already got 10 years down the line, sure, but as he said right now, they're going to continue to keep creating consoles. The perception part, that's always been there. As soon as Xbox games touch the PC, even the exclusive day and date, people are wondering, okay, what's the plan on Xbox at this point, playing on PC? Because we've already seen the argument made several times as well. And of course, Phil Spencer already alluded to Xcloud, Game Pass, all that stuff going to other platforms as well, months or a year before this anyway. So we already knew it was coming, but we just haven't got a clear confirmation of it yet. But we got like more consistent rumors saying it's going to hit Switch soon. So I mean, we knew about this for a while, but we just need official confirmation of it coming. But as far as the hardware, it's not going anywhere anytime soon, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's
how I feel.
Nico's is full of shit.
I mean, that's what Phil said. I'm just repeating what man said.
Yeah. Let me go ahead. Before Moss goes, because Moss gonna go. I'm just going to tell you guys how I feel. Just me, and me personally. If, like I've said, if they're going to make traditional console, at least for the next generation, which is going to probably last another 7 to 8 years, right? How does Xbox exclusives going on Nintendo and whatever else affects me and my day-to-day gaming? How does it affect me? It doesn't, because I'm still going to be gaming on my Anaconda or whatever, right? So it personally doesn't affect me. Therefore, I don't give a shit. To me, this is all console war shit. Xbox exclusives going on the competitors. Maybe they're competitors to us, but maybe they're not competitors to Microsoft, right? Because if they were really competitors to Microsoft, maybe they wouldn't put their shit on the Nintendo Switch. I'm just saying.
I mean, to Microsoft as a whole, probably not looking at Sony or Nintendo. They're just looking at them as other avenues of revenue at this point.
That's all it is. Now, let me ask you guys this. We all heard about the Google and everything, Amazon. Are they going to put their shit everywhere? Probably, right? Don't you guys think they're going to put their shit everywhere? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, what is going to make Microsoft more money? Just staying strictly on the Xbox, or putting it everywhere like they're Google and Amazon is potentially going to do? So it's just console war shit to me. That's the only reason I can see why people is upset. That's the only reason I can see. They say my favorite brand is dying. It's not dying. They're going to make traditional consoles. And like I alluded to, 7, 8, 9 years down the line, shit, we might have flying cars. Who the hell knows what's going to go on in 2027 or 2000? You know what I'm saying? Who knows then? But that's all I got to say. I just don't care. I will still be able to play my games how I want to in front of my TV on a console. It going to the Switch or wherever, that's irrelevant to me. I don't care. But go ahead. I'm sorry, guys.
MM2 Calm has left the building. MM2K is in the house.
Oh shit.
Okay. All right. So here's the deal. I think in this debate, and for those that haven't been following, that lives under a rock, again, Xbox, it's been rumored, just for cases of technicality, it's been rumored that Xbox is going to be bringing Game Pass or Xcloud capabilities, the ability to stream your Xbox catalog to the Nintendo Switch system. And it's also rumored that they're trying to cozy up to PlayStation and do the same thing on your PlayStation 4 or your PlayStation 5, whatever the subsequent system is. Now, I think the biggest problem in this debate, because you have the community split, which I'll say that's fair, a fair analysis, that the community is split, right?
I'd say 60-40.
60-40. You think 60-40 against it? Okay. Yeah. So there's a lot of people angry. I don't want to say a lot more, but more people angry about this than people that are just saying, "Hey, this is a it's a nothing burger," right?
Excuse me.
That's all right. So with that being said, I think the problem is the 60 side and the 40 side. They don't realize that these are two events that can exist in the same time space continuum. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, it is possible that Xbox is making moves that they can do better than this gen, and they're going to be more successful this gen. I believe that. And I also can understand the point of the coin where the 60 is upset, where they're saying the hardcore brass is being slighted by this rollout due to the type of content that it appears that they may be focused on. All right. So what do I mean by that? Okay. It makes sense for Xbox, with all its capabilities, its tool sets, and everything that's going on, for them to be able to do this. I've said myself that I would love the opportunity to be able to be somewhere with my wife, not having to sit in front of I don't know, what a female-oriented store and just be going on Twitter harassing people. I'd love to pick up my game of Anthem on my phone. That would be cool to me. But you got to look at it from the 60 side too. Okay. I'm cool with that change, but I'm not excited about that change. What brought me to the Xbox ecosystem was back in the original Xbox days, games like Jade Empire, you know what I'm saying? Armed and Dangerous, you know, games like that were out there, the System Link, the Frag Parties. I was excited about that. Fast forward to the 360 era. Mass Effect, BioShock, Rainbow Six Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Those are games, those are things that change gaming content in the software forever. I was excited about that. Now, this whole Xcloud thing, it's cool. It's a nice function. But me personally, I'm not excited about that. And for us to be giving up the candy, all right, giving up the milk to where Sony gamers and PlayStation gamers get double the incentive. They get to buy their system of choice and they get our Xbox games, where in return, if we stay dedicated Xbox people, we get nothing in return. It's a one-way street. I see where the 60% is coming from. And I think both sides of the conversation, we're missing each other, because the 40 isn't understanding where the 60 is coming from. But again, if you look at it, someone like myself, like Nethos, like even you, Griggity, and Op, or Z, who's made all these investments in the Xbox ecosystem, to see that as early as this year, PlayStation guys, the Porter Rocks, the J-Dubs, the All Days, the motherfuckers that laughed at us all generation, they get our shit for $10 a month, and we don't get their shit unless we buy their ecosystem. It seems like a slap in the face. And I think there is a world where Microsoft can roll this out better, because it makes sense for them to do it. Be more transparent, better communicate with their brass, and it feels like they're giving us the cold shoulder. And that's the problem. So I get where the Griggity side is coming from, but the problem is the 60% side is not going to go anywhere until Microsoft gets off their high fucking horse. I'm sorry, gets off their high horse and says, you know what? Even though there's a broader gamer base out here, we still have to talk to these guys, and we have to make them feel comfortable by letting them know, hey, the AAA content is coming. We know we said we don't mandate what's being developed, but it's coming. We ain't forget about you. Until they start having those conversations, they're going to get battered. And to be honest with you, if they get battered, I think they deserve it. And I will shut the hell up.
Hey, let me say this. Now, you made some valid points. You know, you always make valid points for the most part. But hold on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, obviously, it's a rumor. Just like CBK said, I mean, like you mentioned, it's still a rumor, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I just see this is a industry thing. I don't know if Sony's going to put their shit on Xbox. I can never see that. But I do believe Sony's going to put their shit everywhere. You know, maybe not Xbox, but I think this is an industry thing. This is a 2019 and beyond thing. This is nothing's traditional anymore. That's how I look at it. It's just things change. Who would have thought 10 years ago that digital would be the thing to do? 2 years ago, I was still all physical. I switched at the drop of a hat. I'm all digital. things evolve. That's how I feel about it.
Let me ask you this,
evolve.
Griggity. If we would have got Scalebound, and again, I hate bringing that up because
that's fine.
You know, we know the deal. Yeah, I hate to be that guy, but we know people didn't start loving and missing Scalebound until it was canceled and they used it for fanboy fodder. Let's be real here, okay? Right. But let's just say if we got a Scalebound or if we got Fable better yet, and we were still getting the AAA exclusives as routinely as we were in previous gens, nobody would give a shit about this because they would be saying, aha, even though we're coming to your hardware in order for you to enjoy our games, you're going to pay Xbox Live subscription and help give us more content that y'all desire. And if you want to play it natively on the best console ever, you got to buy an Xbox. You see what I'm saying? So people wouldn't care. And it's not just for fanboy fathers. They would be given incentive to be like, yeah, this is really worth something. But I think the problem is that I said this earlier on Twitter. It seems like that Microsoft is trying to deliver you store-bought pizza with a jetpack. You know what I'm saying? Like they got all these fancy ways to deliver you the product, but the product is falling apart and it's crumbling all in your hands. Like, again, one of the biggest arguments I'm hearing right now is that this is a one-way street. This is happening this year. For number one, to my man CBK's point, yes, it is just a rumor, but you don't hear nobody denying it. You know, Nintendo come out in a heartbeat. Shut the hell up. We don't know what y'all talking about.
The only thing we have is like Mike Barr just posting that like a picture of the definition of rumor, and that's all we have to go off.
Yeah, that's all we have.
And
didn't he post after that? He posted, it's a rumor that people think I just play on PCs. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that shit came out the worst too. So there's really not much going on.
I know I'm going too far. I'm gonna shut up. But I think again, both sides of the coin are valid. I just think that my 40% brothers need to listen to the 60% brothers because think about it. We were told Play Anywhere is going to give you more exclusives. And has it? Nope. We were told Sea of Thieves is AAA. Was it? Nope. We were told State of Decay, you know what I'm saying, was going to be AAA and then ended up being AA. Then we were told Crackdown was going to be on the same incentive as Halo, Gears, and Forza. Now, those could just be coincidental mistakes, but you're seeing Microsoft fuck up there, but they're so staunch and they're so precise on giving their shit to other people, giving value to other consoles. So if you're just a pure Xbox console gamer, and where you just want a game on an Xbox console, where is your value? Right? Where's your value? This ain't something that's happening next gen. This is happening this year. So where's your value? That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry, and I'm shutting up.
Well, I'm
too calm again.
No, you good. My point of view is like you made some good points, and one of the points you brought up earlier was saying like if the PlayStation people got our games, then of course if our games I guess were received better in the public, then we can use that against them, saying okay, you get to play on a PlayStation, but you're gonna get playing natively on Xbox. But that argument still stands, even if people don't receive them as well. Because you can play on a PlayStation as well, but you have to deal with the inferior console and their services as well, which are in some cases lackluster compared to the Xbox and others. So you could, of course, play your PlayStation exclusives and Xbox exclusives on PlayStation theoretically, but you have to be susceptible to the shortcomings of PlayStation 4 because Microsoft, I believe they stated that going forward they'll never lose the power again. So Microsoft is going to give you the most powerful console with their on top of their services as well. And as far as I know, only Game Pass, Xbox Live is going to these other consoles, quote unquote, if this does end up being true. So you don't get those two services as well, but not the other ones on Xbox as well. So you're missing out on power and other services if you choose not to play on Xbox natively. So that aspect I don't see where it's a con for Xbox gamers as far as a pro for them. As far as like the console war is saying like we lose our bragging rights in that vein, yeah, we do because people get to play our games and they'll buy our Xbox for that. That sense I understand it from, but like for me, it doesn't bother me as well because like I'm still gonna play my games on Xbox. They're gonna give me the best console all around, the best services. I'm fine playing there. People on Switch can play as well. And we all know the Switch plays pretty much. That won't affect me as well, even on a PlayStation, because like to play Xbox games on a PlayStation, like I can't stand the controller. I don't trust our online. I don't trust having my bank account over on the PlayStation as well. So like for them to play our exclusives, I don't see like where the negative would really come from because like there's more cons to deal with on other platforms than on Xbox. That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know I interrupted everybody. Who was saying something? Was it you, Nethos, or you, Griggity? I'm sorry.
Oh, that was Op that just did his speech.
No. I heard. I mean, but while I was whining some more, how did you say, Dirk? Yeah, Xbox putting that game on the Switch. Hey, bro. Hey, look, everybody that is listening to this shit right now, you got even we're just having a heartfelt discussion. It's a good discussion. Everybody's bringing up good points, but y'all gotta hear Griggity's video. The shit was top notch. Diversity of thought within the Xbox community. That's what it's all about, because we're not all carbon copies, everybody. We're not like the Sony brands where we're like, everything's great. We don't need multiplayer. We don't need it. You know what I'm saying?
That damn hive mind shit.
Exactly.
I'm going to say is you missed that DM chat op. Oh, my God. Let's just say a certain PlayStation YouTuber is not happy about any idea of any multiplayer games going over.
Yeah.
That's the most slavish shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I don't like that term, but I'm gonna go give my 2 cents real quick. So, Up, you're absolutely right. I even said this to FC Violent just last night. I don't want to just game on PlayStation. In reality, I'm gonna miss my Xbox controller. Of course, the Xbox controller is superior. It is. That's just my opinion, and I think a lot of people agree with that, even deep down inside, right? Yeah. And I'm gonna miss the services. Xbox has great services, fantastic services. I love my refund policy. I'm amazed Sony and Nintendo don't have that yet. I like my cloud saves, even though actually Sony just upped their shit. But on Sony side, you have to pay for PlayStation Network to even use it, by the way. And I like great things like that, right? That's my take. I prefer the Xbox ecosystem overall. But the problem is, just because I prefer, just because you prefer, just because we on the panel prefer it, and maybe a few people here in the chat, FC Violent, the reality is people got over that. Yeah. Like, look at the difference between the Xbox One and PS4. We can go off the rumored sales saying, let's say Xbox is at 45 million. We're going to give them an extra 5 million from the rumor, right? 50 million. Who cares? PlayStation's probably damn near 100 million. Oh, yeah. So clearly the services alone couldn't generate nearly enough people to even compete on that front. And now you're telling those people, oh, yeah, you're probably going to carry your PS4 games over to the PS5 through backwards compatibility. And soon, potentially, you could play Xbox games on your PlayStation whenever Sony finally allows that shit. Is that going to happen anytime soon? Probably not. Like Maslin says, and I agree 110% with what he said, you're not going to see Xbox games on PlayStation until Xbox more or less leaves the hardware business. That's when you'll finally see it. When Xbox is actually gone, then Sony may just open up to that thing. I mean, Sony was being stingy about EA Access. That's not even there yet. It might come later soon. That's the rumor. But remember, they didn't even allow so much as that. So no, Game Pass isn't heading to the PlayStation anytime soon until Xbox more or less throws in the towel and becomes as close to a third-party publisher as possible, right? Yeah. And that's the reality. What I'm saying is this signals the beginning of the end of Xbox hardware, because at the end of the day, we could say they're going to keep making traditional consoles, right? But guys, these consoles are not cheap to make. You don't just throw billions of dollars at something just to appease, 30 million people who are going to stay loyal? You just don't do that. I'm sorry, you really, really do not do that. So at the end of the day, I expect the next generation to be here very soon. 2020 is probably when the consoles launch. I expect maybe a mid-gen refresh on top of that, and at the absolute most, you maybe got one more generation after that. But even most people think this gen coming up, even a lot of fanboys think, this may be it. The next Xbox we're buying up may become our fucking Dreamcast of the Xbox brand. And that's the sad reality. This is the last hurrah. Just think about that for a second. Sony, you know they're going to keep going. Let's be real. Nintendo's going to keep going. Microsoft, they can keep going, but I feel they don't have the desire to keep going because they probably think it's a waste of time, a waste of resources, a waste of money. Instead of going and making the traditional console, they'd rather just become essentially Game Pass, the Netflix of gaming. That's what they would prefer to become. Why all these studios agree to be bought? I think the reality is because they know their games are going to go everywhere anyways. And now they're going to get all this funding. And Game Pass, which people like to make fun of, how can Microsoft make money off this shit? It's only $10 a month. Well, now you have so many fucking people who can get Game Pass, potentially 2 billion people as your customer base. And that's how they're going to really bring in bank. Like Netflix is available literally anywhere.
Yeah. Man, you know what? You guys are making very great points tonight. I'm not disagreeing with anything you guys are saying.
But do it again, Gregory. Please do it, Gregory. Say it again.
This is the best Xbox. No, it's just that Needless, you made some great points. I had a discussion with someone earlier about Sega. He said, "Man, they're going to become the Sega." The new Sega, and I said, well, no, probably not yet. Sega just didn't have any more money. That's not Xbox problem.
That's the truth.
Sega, like the PlayStation 2 just killed Sega hopes and dreams. They had to become a third party studio, developer, whatever you call it. But Xbox, they're a little different case, right? Do they eventually want to become that? I'm pretty sure, yeah. They don't have to make that expensive hardware, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
But also, what about Sony and Nintendo? Do you think they want to continue to make that expensive hardware 8 years down the line where they might not have to, just like Xbox doesn't have to? I mean, let's be honest about it. We just don't know where gaming is going. Gaming is going to be here. We know that. But what about the future? What if Sony decides, damn, this PlayStation 6, man, I don't want to. Let's make this shit like a small, like USB 3.8 and shit, whatever it's going to be in the future. Let's make this a small little device also, because by that time, maybe streaming will be 100% great, no lag. I don't know, maybe by that time. So I just think gaming is headed this way. Now, Moss, you made some great points. You actually made some great points that made me think with their shit. None of their shit is coming to us. They're getting our shit. So, it made me think a little bit. But at the end of the day, I just want to play my game. No, it's all bad. It's
Well, I'll also throw this in the mix too, so I get the full Similac bottle for all my crime. I'll throw in there too that it's something, just some food for thought. If with this new model, even though it's going to be successful for Microsoft, the lure for this is going to be cool. Like I said, it's a cool feature, and it's going to do what they want them to do. And this is why I think Sony is going to do this sooner rather than later. Sony cares more about hardware. They're a hardware developer. They live and die off of hardware.
True.
Now, Sony does have a market problem right now. If you guys remember that story that came out recently, and big ups to Randolph Thor that he published it. Analysts have told investors, do not put a dime into Sony for 2019, because what people don't understand is the way that this is why I always tell y'all, look at shit from 5,000 feet. You got to look at things from a business sense too. Even though Sony made a bunch of money, when you're a Fortune 500 company and you're publicly traded, you not only have to compete against Microsoft and Sony, but you got to compete against yourself. So people are looking at it like, if I put $1 into Sony today, how far will that dollar grow 12 to 16 months from now? And analysts are saying that dollar that you put into Sony today is not going to grow that much, because they're not going to make more money than they have the day that you invested that dollar. All right. Now, if that was too much for you to understand, pick up a copy of Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm sorry. But what that means, there's just not enough time in this podcast for me to explain that to you. But that's the way the market works. So Sony is going to have to transfer over to a more service-based, on multiple devices strategy. But Sony has a balance to themselves. They care about their reputational risk. They're not willing to go full throttle with this like Microsoft is, so they might put it on PC per se. So if you got Microsoft on other competing devices, them putting this on PC is not going to be that big of a deal. But then you got to ask yourself, well, how is this going to add value to the Microsoft console? If I'm strictly a console gamer, like Nethos was just saying, what is Microsoft's incentive now to make the Xbox One X equivalent next generation only $500 instead of $600-700? There is no incentive. If I'm a third-party developer, what is my incentive to natively support that box, to make a version I can install on that box if there's only 20 million that's been sold within 5 years? I may just want to sign with Microsoft to do the streaming thing to get on the mobile and Nintendo and PlayStation, but I may not want to pay that license for it to be natively installed. UWP was supposed to take care of that, and UWP didn't come to fruition the way we thought it was going to come to fruition. So that's another thing, third-party support. So there's different things that, to Griggity and Op's point, they may be non-factors, they may be nothing burgers, but we're all assuming, and we're all assuming too long. Phil, Satya, somebody, goddammit, come off your high horse and have a discussion with your hardcore community, because I'm letting you know right now, if you don't clear this shit up and clear it up fast, this 60% is going to grow from 60 to 65 to 70 to 75 until you get to the point to where even my man Griggity, he going to stop going, wah, wah, and he going to be like, yo, what's going on here? And he might be side with him. So that's all I'm saying is that, yes, these are rumors. This may not be true, but Microsoft, you can't just do this close to the vest thing. You know what I'm saying? You're in the rebuilding phase, so you got to be transparent a little bit more frequently than you may like, period.
And before Dirt and Op rebuttal, I just have to say one point because I forgot to make it. At the end of the day, like Mosh just repeated, we are console gamers. When this whole news broke out, not about the Switch or Game Pass, anything like that, the news broke up about Xcloud streaming in general when they made that video about you can stream your games to your phone and any really device. I was excited. I made my video. I was like, this is dope. This is great. Right. What this does is add more value to my purchase. I bought Anthem on the Xbox One. I can take that with me on my mobile device. I can play Halo 3 on the go, Halo Infinite, like quick multiplayer match on the go with my cellular device. And that is awesome. It adds more value to my purchase. I can play wherever and whenever I choose to. And even to the Switch, believe it or not, I'm buying a Switch this year. I'm probably going to use that Xcloud on that Switch because that's better than my phone. I'd probably rather stream my game to my Switch because it's a bigger screen. Maybe my tablet will come into play. Who knows? But that's something to think about. But when it does hit the Switch, when Game Pass does hit the Switch, the problem is that hits a rival console. I don't care if it hits a mobile device. I don't even care if it hits the PC because you could always damage control who wants to play on a mobile as their main way of playing. And a PC, well, that's just expensive to invest into. Let's be real. A good PC is going to cost you about $1,000. Yeah. Because if you spend like, what, $700 to $800, it's not too long where that thing might just go obsolete. I'm going to be real with you. Or at least you start playing at like lower settings than what you might on the console. Just to get like frames, my GTX 1070 MOS, the thing we have, the graphics on that are about equivalent to an Xbox One X running Anthem right now. Like they look identical. The frame rate's much better. That I'm not denying. But graphically, they look pretty identical, to be honest with you. And that's the thing about it. But go back to my point. Once it hits rival consoles, you know, people's main way of playing may no longer be needing an Xbox. As a console gamer, Dirt, me and you, eventually maybe we can just buy the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 6, and we play literally all the games on the PlayStation. At that point, is it really worth spending $500, maybe even $600 just to play where you used to play, or does it make financial sense?
That's a good question. I'm sorry, not to cut you off, Nico.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
But Griggity, my brother Griggity, I think you're the biggest PlayStation enthusiast / Xbox diehard here. Like you love PlayStation games, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say if the PlayStation 5 comes out and it's 10 teraflops, and the PlayStation and the Xbox is 12 teraflops, only 2 teraflop difference. They're both running 4K 60. Through the streaming service, you might get the 4K 60 if their technology is cool. What is your incentive on buying an Xbox? Why would you buy one? And let's just say if it's $600-700, would you still buy an Xbox?
Me personally, yes.
Okay.
Because I love the ecosystem. You know, my gamer score, my friends on Xbox. You know, this is me. I love the controller. This is me personally. But I understand if you're saying somebody just a casual.
But you get to keep all that though. I mean, the control. I don't know, but now that Scuff got a controller, so you can take that extra $200 to $300 that you would spend on an Xbox console, maybe get you a Scuff controller that operates like an Xbox controller, and still save yourself like that. Yeah, and save yourself like 50. Like, you're still going to have your gamer score because you're going to have to sign into Xbox Live. You're still going to get everything that's associated to Xbox. Everything that's known for Xbox right now, besides the power, it's all baked into their servers. With this Xcloud service, you're going to get that on every device. So, besides controller, would that make? Go ahead. I'm sorry,
but at this point, I don't think streaming will be 4K anything next generation. Okay. Maybe the generation after that.
Got you.
You know, so
yep.
Okay. I don't know, man. Y'all, you know.
But I mean, is it worth dealing with that for 4 games a year? And here's the kicker: the reason these games are being streamed to mobile and Switch is because the hardware is obviously too weak. Mm-hmm. Who the hell said the PlayStation 5 hardware is too weak?
Yeah,
or PlayStation 6 hardware is too weak. What happens if when Microsoft leaves the hardware business, like I predicted, eventually they start putting those games natively on those devices?
Yeah, that will be more tricky because
that's what I'm thinking. Again, this isn't going to happen anytime soon. Not at all. Like Matt says, he's actually in the chat here. Maybe he wants to hop in. Probably not. But they will not allow Game Pass onto the PlayStation until Xbox basically starts leaving the hardware business. They're just not going to do it. They're going to say, fuck you, you're not getting our subscribers. You're not getting our clientele. This is our clientele, not yours.
For the kids.
That's how Sony thinks.
For the kids.
Yeah, for the kids. I mean, look, they weren't even open to crossplay. And speaking about crossplay, the thing about now is, since PlayStation opened up to it, our excuse of, well, my friends are on Xbox, that may not even be an excuse anymore in the future.
That's true. That's
a thing, too.
That's true.
You might be able to still play with those same people, even if you decided to invest into the PlayStation and they stayed on an Xbox. So, Dirt, if I went PlayStation 5 and I got the Xbox games and you stayed on Xbox, guess what? We're playing Anthem 2 together, Dirt. Yeah, we're playing Apex Legends together still.
That's the valid point. That's the valid point. I gotta give you guys are being, you guys are really putting a lot of pressure on me, and I appreciate that shit. But you guys are making valid points. You guys are making valid points, and I don't really have much of a comeback. I'm just kind of
but that's why you have Operation.
Operation. Well, Op's been quiet. What's going on, brother?
I'm letting y'all talk. But real quick, Neff, go back to one of your things you said earlier. You said one of the reasons why Xbox was not making consoles is because why waste resources to make a new one?
Yeah, the R&D costs billions.
Yeah, so here's my thing. What will be more of a bigger impact than, because we don't know how much they cost exactly, but let's say 2 or 3 billion to make a console, right? Will we better for them to lose just like save the money of developing the 2 billion? I'm sorry, save money not developing a console going forward, but potentially lose the tens of millions of Xbox gamers who want to play on a console as well. Because you gotta understand, we don't know how many exactly hardcores are there, but at this point in time, there's still a lot of gamers who prefer to play on a console as well, and some are pretty stubborn as well. So we could potentially put down tens of millions of them who don't want to play on a streaming box, who don't want to stream their games to some other device. They want a console in their house to play from. So they're losing the revenue from those people as well. At that point, will it be worth it to lose them just to save our R&D money on the Xbox?
Here's my rebuttal to that. I'm going to be a little messy. What's roughly the sales of the Xbox One as is?
Oh, damn. God.
As far as consoles?
Uh-huh.
Hey, Nethos, don't treat our guests like that, goddammit. Don't do it.
I mean, let's be real. We're going to get a solid 40 million consistently. At the most, probably like 40 million, right? I don't know if that can justify for them to keep going. Millions of R&D. Oh, God. I'm going to let Matt go in a second.
So what if they lose tens of millions
to the podcast?
I'm going to let him go in a second because he's about to blow this up. But anyways, I don't know if it's necessarily worth doing that for like 40 million people. And even, what was the other point you just brought up?
Because if they don't develop consoles no more, they could lose out millions of gamers who don't want to play.
Oh, that's the point. That's the point.
Yeah, because they're losing that revenue from them.
If you save the billions of dollars and all that money, the money doesn't just disappear. They don't just stop spending that money. They're still going to use it, but now that's towards their games. The reason Phil Spencer probably got this bag to buy all these studios, competition's coming, Google's coming, Amazon's coming, Verizon's even in there now, fucking Madbox, whatever the fuck it is, right? But the part of the reason he got this bag is because he's probably telling Satya, I have an exit strategy to leave hardware if it goes to that. Like Matt says, if they're, he said head something, right? If he can leave the hardware, that billions are gone. So therefore, he got this funding to buy all these studios because he can spend the hardware, the R&D budget towards games now, towards these studios, make original content, and push the Netflix of gaming. And now I will let the new special guest go if he wants to go.
Yeah. So this is what's gonna happen, right? Mm-hmm. Xbox ain't getting out of the hardware business for at least 2 more generations.
Hold on, sir. Okay. Can you please introduce yourself? You low down dirty bastard.
My bad. You trash at games. Look, but this the real masculine. You know, I'm just here for fuckery and insight. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm here for. That's all I'm here for. I go everywhere and bring fuckery. That's how I get down. It just is what it is. But I'm gonna drop some nuggets of knowledge as well while I'm here. So Microsoft ain't getting out of the console business anytime soon. But what they're gonna do is they're gonna use the Switch and all of its least powerful consoleness as a test bed for Xcloud. You automatic, like, what people don't seem to understand is Microsoft is trying to give you those console gaming experiences on the go. The best way to do that is to use the Switch. Is to utilize the Switch to do it, because people ain't carrying around controllers for their phones. Contrary to what everybody wants to believe, ain't nobody doing that shit. But
Fanny pack.
Right, ain't nobody doing that. But they will use the Switch, so they're gonna use the Switch to test out Xcloud. They're going to use it to get down all the little nuances. Anything that breaks, we already know that Nintendo fans don't give a damn about the hardware. They don't give a damn about what the visual fidelity looks like. They don't give a damn about what the frame rate is running like. They just want to play the games on their little portable console. I have a Switch. I ain't turning that shit on. What's today? This year. I ain't turning it on this fucking year. But in almost a year, probably. It's been a long ass time. Anyway, but they don't care. So they're going to use, Microsoft is 100% going to utilize that as a test bed. Now, they're going to be making games exclusively for PC. I'm going to warn all my friends not to fall down that L rabbit hole. Don't do it to yourself. Because the problem is, I'm okay with it. I don't give a damn if they never make another Xbox ever. I ain't played an Xbox game on Xbox in a long ass time. But the difference is, just because they don't talk about things like the Universal Windows platform, that shit still exists. So if they're programming their games for Windows and the Xbox is a Windows machine, all they're going to do is dedicate and tune in the hardware for that dedicated machine. So just because the game they have mouse and keyboard support, they have all the things required for a PC game to run on Xbox. Xbox, the PS4, they're all just weak ass PCs. So don't fall down that rabbit hole of someone said somewhere that they're going to make a game geared towards PC. That's probably true. That doesn't mean it's not going to be on Xbox. And at this point in time,
record this.
Do it.
If I'm right, I win. If he's right, he loses. Right,
my thoughts on that as far as like they'll make they bring Xbox afterwards. That's my thoughts on
it. It's probably gonna happen just like Age of Empires. Like everybody was like, "Oh my god, it's gonna be a PC exclusive game." I'm like, I'm a PC guy. I'm telling everybody, don't do that shit, because you're walking into an L for no reason. Then the next week they announce mouse and keyboard support. So what you think is gonna happen? They bring a game that's dedicated, that's like so ingratiated with mouse and keyboard support, to Xbox with mouse and keyboard support. Crazy fucking concept. But these are like easy L's to avoid. Just like P-Rock tried to hand me an L the other day. And it was cute to me, because all his little, like, the people who are fanboys of fanboys is the weirdest shit in the world. So all his little wood buffers in his comment section was like, "Oh my god, it's such a." I was like, anything taken out of context is going to be the same way. I maintain this same thing. I don't give a fuck what Microsoft wants, but for some reason, everybody on the internet keeps saying Microsoft is going to put all their games on PlayStation. Really? Because I don't remember PlayStation allowing that shit.
Right.
Because they're going to use the Xcloud service in order for them to maximize their profits. Until they get out of the hardware business, PlayStation is not going to want to keep feeding them money. The 3 games right now that Microsoft owns the studios for, so Minecraft, Hellblade, and Outer Worlds. They own those studios, but all those deals were done after those games are already supposed to be on the platform.
Right.
Hellblade had already been out 2 years before Microsoft acquired them. Outer Worlds was already set to come to PlayStation before Microsoft acquired them. So these are all Wasteland 3 already set to come to PlayStation before Microsoft acquired them. So Microsoft is trying to put their foot in the door. They're trying, but PlayStation as a whole doesn't want to feed their competitor money. I don't know like what kind of crazy notion people are under. PlayStation does not want to do that. They don't want to cut their profit margin at all, especially considering they rely so heavily on PlayStation. Sony relies so heavily on PlayStation. PlayStation brought Sony out of junk status. That was the thing, because I bought all of my stock back again when it was in junk status, because that shit was dirt cheap.
You rich jackass.
That shit was dirt cheap. I bought all 550 shares.
Real quick, even if Microsoft gets out of hardware business sometime down the line,
it's going to be like two gens.
They will still be feeding Microsoft money because if they do allow their games on PlayStation, they're still going to cut that money.
But that's once they become third party. They get out of. They're no longer a rival. Then they're no longer a console maker. So they're no longer competition at that point in time. But if you keep feeding Microsoft money, right? So let's say Microsoft decides to put Ori and the Blind Forest and fucking Cuphead on PlayStation, right? Those are drops in the bucket. But you're not going to see Microsoft try to put Halo and Gears. They're going to put that on Xcloud, and they're going to try to push that service to PlayStation. PlayStation ain't having that shit. You cut off their third-party sales. That's why they won't allow EA access. And everybody like, oh, the rumor that EA access is coming. They said they're coming to a major platform. Whatever. That shit is 4 years old at this point in time. Like, it took PlayStation 4 years to say maybe. Like, y'all hoping on a dream. Until it happens, right now, PlayStation is allowing it because it drops off their third-party sales. Now, we're going into a new generation, and PlayStation is going to start allowing some shit that they haven't up to this point in time because this new generation starts off 0-0. Like, people don't understand that. Yes, I believe 100% PlayStation is going to win this next generation. They're a global brand. Microsoft isn't. It's that simple. But this next gen starts off 0-0. PlayStation fucks up. Microsoft puts out all these games from these new studios and they flames. People will hop back on that bandwagon because gamers are fickle. They don't give a damn as much as we think they give a damn.
They don't give a damn.
They don't.
I think what the PS2 to the PS3 is the best example you can give.
Right. They're what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
That's how gamers are. They're gonna maintain that. And whoever comes out ahead early, that's who's going to dominate in the larger regions. Because all these people talking about PlayStation, PS4 is selling so much because of the games they putting out. No, nigga, because nobody is buying that shit at the volume you think they are. There's 92 million PlayStations 96. out of all the games they put out, 96, whatever the hell it is. So there's almost 100. Let's call it 100. So there's 100 million PlayStations out of the 6 or so games they put out over the last 2 years. 2 of them sold gangbusters. The rest of them didn't. And even in selling gangbusters, that was barely 10% of their market share. So the other 90% don't give a fuck about those games. They care about Call of Duty, NBA 2K, Madden, and FIFA. But they care about where their friends are playing those games.
See, here's the problem. Me and Neethles was having a good time tearing up Griggity and Op. Then Maz had to bring his punk ass in here. All right. So the shit ain't fun no more. He killed the fun. Jackie Chan had to come up in here and fucking
you should have told me this was an Xbox roast session. I was joined in, but you ain't warned me.
Xbox RIP podcast on the low.
Y'all know me. I am for the fuckery on all sides of this equation. I go at whatever side I'm gonna have the most fun on, but y'all ain't tell me. So here we are. Okay.
I'll be honest. As soon as Mask got here, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get my point out.
I'm gonna
run away.
I'm gonna run away. And you see, I put my beat 'em up stick away, man. It's back in the trunk, man. I just stopped. But with that said, I think but no, those are all good points. And keep the discussion up. But with that said, this is a perfect segue to the next point that I think we all can agree upon, right? Review scores. Okay.
Trash.
We can go across the panel and people may feel differently about Crackdown. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was you know what I'm saying? But I thought that it wasn't as bad as people were making it out to be after I played it. Anthem. Y'all remember, if y'all don't remember, people mad at MM2K on Twitter, but y'all forget. I can't remember what episode of Scrampunks, but it was an episode of Scrampunks where it was just me, Griggity, and TRS. And I told both of them that I thought Anthem was going to be doo-doo chunks. I said I had no faith in that game. And then I played it. I'm seeing instances to where me personally, reviewers are trying to, it's a race to the top or it's a race to the bottom. There is no more in between, I feel. And I think it's having an impact on experiences to people accessing games because it's getting all this hype. It's getting all this negative hype or it's getting all this over-exaggerated hype. And I put out there, and I want to get the panel's thoughts on this. I put out there that I think, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Put an embargo on game reviews from 1 to 5 days. And if you need another man's to grab you by the hand and tell you, hey, this is a good game, press A here, press B there. If you need it that bad, you can wait those 5 days. Those are my thoughts because I think reviews are getting out of control. What is the panel's thoughts? Do y'all think that I'm crazy, or is there some substance to that? Who wants to pick that up first?
There's some substance to that. Didn't one of those guys I'm kind of funny get mad at you for saying that?
Yeah. That was right. He did. Tony Hawkhead did come at MM2K, and he did it the sucker way and tried to post my Twitter feed, and you know what I'm saying. And I mean, It is what it is, but I'm sorry, y'all, but go ahead.
No, he took the bitch way out, but that's his pill to fight. But
that's where Op is like the original FC Violent back in the day. He argues with goddamn everybody on Twitter.
Yeah, he got blocked by everybody. I think he blocked himself one time.
He got blocked by Matt Piscatella. How the fuck did that happen?
Hey, that happened to me too.
Oh no, I'm still following him. He did not block me. Who? Jason Schreier blocked me. I know that. Not Matt. Yeah, not Matt. That didn't block me. But as far as like the reviewers, it seems like they're trying to get ahead of the hate wave right now. Because it's like, for instance, the 3 biggest games that came out was Anthem, Jump Force, Crackdown. I think Metro Round was excluded. I haven't seen review scores for that yet. But those 3 games got destroyed in reviews. Yeah. Metro, I don't see to a degree. I can see because the gameplay mechanics, some of the controls are trash in that game. Some issues that still came back from the other games as well. But Anthem, I haven't played it. What I played of it so far, I don't see. It's like a complete disconnect for me. Because I see he reviewed it like it was completely disappointing for him. Like, okay, you played it. That's your opinion. That's fine. But look at the gamers everyone's playing consistently, one that they're loving it. So I'm trying to figure out, like, are you being genuine at this point? Or are you trying to get ahead away, trying to get that revenue up for your channel, get the clicks, get the clout? Like, what is at that point? But yeah, they should have an embargo on reviews because, like, people, they're adults, they have their own opinion, they can do whatever they want. But it's sad if you're a grown man or woman, you're that dependent on someone else telling you to buy a game or not. Yeah. Like, at this point, you should not do your own due diligence, do your own research about a game, look up gameplay, like, developer Vidoc something to get a feel for the game, see how it is.
Yeah, I mean, we have so many resources today, and I'm going to go before
right.
Mass throws reviews under the bus because I know what he's about to do, and probably Dirk Gerke to a point. But this is what I'll say about reviews, right? I'll be honest, reviews that are typically good for a game, I end up liking the game all the time. God of War, fantastic reviews. I like that game. Spider-Man, decent reviews. I like that game. Sony game so far. But Red Dead Redemption, that game scored phenomenally well, and that's one of the best games of generation, in my opinion, right? Great games. But there are instances like in Anthem where the game got reviewed bombed. It was like the thing to hate on Anthem. And I fucking love Anthem. Anthem is nowhere near the 60%. Even with all the criticisms you have with Anthem, may they be legitimate or not, or you making up shit, who knows? I can say the game at the least will be in the 70 range, like 75 or so. There's no way that game could score any lower than Destiny 2. That made no sense to me. And my point is, also, another solution isn't user reviews, what I see people pushing. User reviews are great. No, user reviews are also fucking horrible, because look at what happened to Metro. You brought up that up. Metro, the older games got review bombed because Steam fanboys couldn't handle the reality of Epic making moves in the PC market. Even though they're very flawed. It's not on Steam, right? That's also an issue. And even look at the movie industry with Captain Marvel. People are upset that Rotten Tomatoes just changed their whole user review policy, but they had to, because people are literally review bombing that movie before it's even out, by the way, because they don't like Brie Larson. It's not because they don't care for the movie, because they don't even know what the hell the movie is. But they're review bombing it and trying to destroy that film because of Brie Larson. They don't like her, right? Like, there is an issue with these reviews. So the solution is what we've always been saying, what Mass has always been saying, what MM2K just said, what Ops always said, and Dirt 2 probably. Play the fucking game. And I get it. It's a huge investment. It's a huge investment for me to get into Fallout 76 and seeing all the issues. I get that, because I'm the one who made fun of M2K about that shit, right? That's $60 down the drain. I don't know if I'm willing to do that. But that's why great services like a Game Pass, like an EA Origin Premier is so nice, because it doesn't matter. I get the game regardless. For example, I don't like Crackdown. That's why I haven't booted it up. But if I did like Crackdown, if I did like a game like Agents of Mayhem, I would try Crackdown no matter how bad the reviews are, because I may like those type of games and I might get into it, right?
Piece of shit.
And even like with the EA Origin Premier and Anthem, I got Anthem on my PC. Even if I was someone who looked at reviews more carefully, if I was a fan of someone like Angry Joe, who I think he destroyed that fucking game, I would have played it regardless, and I probably would have ended up liking it anyways, because I have the game. So these services and stuff, they're what helping games. They're what is pushing sales and pushing revenue and so on, because you get to play the game regardless. And my last point, and then I'll let you guys finally go, is look at Apex Legends. The pinnacle of what shows our reviews are broken. Apex Legends, they knew. Respawn knew. As soon as they were associated with EA, they were going to get murdered. They knew their microtransactions in today's climate. People are ready to murder this game, right? So they kept that shit hidden. Like, literally, the rumor for the game came out a day before the game fucking launched, and it was a free-to-play game. They put it in your hands, and people loved it because it had good gameplay, and it was unique, and it was a perfect combination of a battle royale with a hero shooter with good mechanics from Titanfall, right? The game is phenomenal. I'll play it almost every night. I'm gonna play it right after the show, actually, right? They put that in your hands, and you fell in love with it. You couldn't even complain about the microtransactions or that it was EA, because you were already playing it and liking it. And IGN made out this headline saying, like, Apex is a microtransaction, original, whatever. They tried. Right? I couldn't even remember. They tried MM2K, and guess what? They had to delete that shit because everybody was loving Apex, and they were looking at IGN like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Is this your another too much water situation? Too much A-button situation? What's going on, IGN? So they deleted that shit and retracted and said, Apex is the shit. That just shows how finicky these reviews are. Reviews are killing games. They're killing media because they have agendas. Now, is that always the case? No, but it can be the case, and that's the issue. And now I'll let Mass go ahead and throw reviews under the bus.
Real quick, the issue with that as well is people are putting too much weight on reviews as well. Like, look at almost every podcast out there. People who start damn conversation with, all right, we think review score is going to be Metacritic prediction, shit like that. Like,
I mean, it used to be a fun thing, but now it's like the gospel.
Hey, don't forget 2 weeks ago when those reviews for Crackdown 3 came out, all of the community was doing video after video. None of us played it at that time. Crackdown 3 is trash. Microsoft let us down. Reviews are ever since like IGN. What was that? 2016 when they changed the score of Uncharted 4 because fanboys was complaining.
Yeah, I forgot.
They
all
lost
about
all
that
credibility
shit. Come
with
on,
me
bro.
right then and there.
Come
they lost all
on,
credibility
bro.
right there, bro.
Come
The
on,
ultimate bitch move right there.
Yeah.
come on, man.
Go ahead.
What are your
man.
thoughts, man?
Oh shit, Matt.
No.
Man,
I had to take a swig of the Henny, but
on a Tuesday night, damn, bro.
yeah, damn right. What do you mean Tuesday? It's Friday somewhere. Anyway, so here's the thing. Y'all know how I feel about review scores, and I'll say it because it's a new platform, but nobody's opinion about what I like matters but my own. That's never going to change. But I said it before. These reviewers they work for a publication, or they are on YouTube. They're going to do what is popular to get clicks. Whatever that is. Doesn't matter which side of the spectrum on it. Just like Apex, when Apex was about to come out, it was EA, it was an EA game, and they was immediately trying to shit on it.
It was
immediately trying to shit on it.
Already queued up. Exactly.
Right. They had it locked and loaded in the chamber about to shit on it. But then they saw everybody was like, yo, Apex, this shit is dope. All the streamers, this shit is dope.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it takes over Fortnite spot at the top.
Yep.
Oh, well, Apex is great. Really, nigga? Like, we was just, I'm watching the same shit you is. Like, I'm not blind. You know, I know D said we got lion eyes, but I can see, bro. Like, I can see the shit you just put out and the stuff you put out right now.
Thank you.
That didn't just not happen.
Yep.
But that's what it comes down to. They see whichever the trends are. They're gonna go with whatever that trend is. If the the bad part about the internet, like the internet has a whole bunch of great qualities. The bad part about the internet, though, is it's more in the realm of getting clicks to be negative. Negativity sells. It's like sex.
Absolutely.
It sells. Negativity sells. You say this game is great and it's positive, nobody gives a fuck about it.
Absolutely.
There are literally channels all over YouTube that do nothing but berate things. Like they do they have nothing but rate. There's what the hell is it? I hate everything. That's a real channel. That's a real channel.
Yeah.
Every single video says I hate blank. Like that's a real thing because negativity sells.
Like
You're gonna
Angry Joe.
Right, angry Joe. Why are you angry? We're playing video games.
Why
are
you
mad
mad
at everything?
everything?
Why are you mad at everything? It's the same thing. Jim Sterling and Jason Schreier, they all do things in order to get clicks. They say things off the wall in order to get clicks. If a game is getting reviewed positively, right, across the board, Jim Sterling is going to say it's trash because that is going to get people to click on it. And that's where, remember what I said about fanboys are fanboys. That's the type of shit. It's weird. Like, you have people who are fans of other people to the point where whatever they say is your opinion. That's the dumbest shit in the world. Like, if you're a kid and you're easily influenced, okay, maybe. But you also need to get off the internet, just shut down Twitter, shut down YouTube. You need to walk into your parents' bedroom and open hand slap the shit out of them because they have failed you. They have failed you. Okay, I give you permission to open hand slap the hell out of your parents. If they ask why, you can point them to my Twitter. Okay, because you have failed your child if they are forming their own opinions based on what somebody else told them. You have failed them, and especially if it's someone on the internet, you have failed them. Like, we are out here just talking about video games. You don't have to agree with none of the shit we say, and we are not going to be mad at you about that. We be on Twitter going back and forth with people all the time because we just normal people. We just talking to y'all. Y'all put these reviewers and YouTube personalities and magazine editors on a pedestal, and then they do shit like that shit with where Ryan was like, you can like a game and still acknowledge that it's mediocre.
Mediocre, that it's bad.
Who the fuck are you to tell me a game is mediocre? If I like a game, it's not mediocre to me.
Exactly.
It's mediocre to your ass.
Yeah.
And you aren't the authority on whether or not I think something is mediocre.
And that is the point. That is the biggest point to take away, I think, from anything that's being said about these reviews. IGN and a lot of these big publications, y'all can't keep looking at them as the stewards of what's good, what's bad, what's mediocre. Point in hand, and I don't know if you'll agree with this, Mass, or anybody on the panel. I'm a big Destiny fan, even though Mass says that I'm garbage chunks in it. But I'm a big Destiny fan. When Destiny first came out, one of the biggest looter shooters to come out at the time, nobody knew how to score it. Nobody knew what they had in their hand. So what the first Destiny got shit scores. Became a phenomenon, right? Everybody loved it. The people that gave it shit scores, they said, you know what? We're not going to fuck up the second time. We're going to give it great score. And they gave it decent scores. The problem is that the second iteration kind of fell. Yeah, was fucked up. Was fucked up in many ways. So it's like what Mass said. They're going to go wherever it's popular. It's popular to trash EA and Anthem.
Oh,
that's why they're doing it.
It's popular to trash Xbox, huh?
Yeah, it's popular to trash Xbox. Hey,
yo, empathetic to that now. It's popular to trash them too.
Real quick, real quick. I just want to add, it is popular to trash Xbox, but it's their fault.
They're the ones. Hey, Mass. They're the ones that left Dustin Lingerie or Lingerie, whatever the fuck his name is, with Crackdown by himself, and he had to even ask, "What do I do here?" Who the hell asked what to do with Crackdown? But you left him there. You left the kid with the fork in his hand next to the electric outlet. You're the ones that did that. You know what I'm saying? So you're the ones to blame. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Facts. It's a factual statement. Like, Xbox has put themselves in a position to be pointed at and laughed at. They put themselves in that position.
Yep.
Like, and I've said this before. The executives of Xbox, they're very transparent. That's great. But y'all talk too fucking much to say nothing. Like,
shut the hell up.
If you see a shoe tweet, it's like he says like 2 words. He's like someone will be like, "Oh, shoe, great job on God of War." He'll say thanks, and that'll be a tweet headline on IGN. Shuhei Yoshida said thanks to this random fan. But Phil and Mike and Aaron, they tweet all the goddamn time.
My direct TV bill was 20% higher than what it should be.
They tweet all the time and say nothing.
Yes,
absolutely nothing, and that's a problem. If you're gonna tweet, then tweet hope.
Yeah,
like I said, PlayStation sells hope. Yes, PlayStation sells hope. They sell hope, and the masses eat that up. Yeah. But right now, you tweet some random ass indie game that's coming out on everything when Crackdown is literally about to come out. Lets me know you don't give a damn about Crackdown.
Yeah.
That's what that tells me. So if you don't give a damn, I damn sure don't.
Yeah, facts.
Whether it's fun or not is irrelevant.
Facts. Yeah.
If you don't care about your own product, why the hell should I?
Yep, exactly.
And they do that all the time. They tweet about absolutely nothing, and they're on Twitter all the damn time. Yeah. Mike, I'll give it to Mike Ibarra over everybody else. Phil, I played a couple games with Phil. I just because from being around people like Tim and South, I just played game. Like, I hopped in the party and he was there. So I played some shit with him. But Mike Ibarra, that motherfucker plays games. Regardless of how many fanboys want to come at him and tell him how he should do his job and all that shit. I guarantee you he plays more games than 99% of you motherfuckers on Twitter. That's just a fact of the matter. Like, I've seen his gamer score. I've seen him stream for hours playing PUBG, playing Apex. I've seen this.
Yeah, he's hardcore.
So, right, you swing by Mixer, Mike is on that bitch all the time.
Yeah.
Like, he games. So regardless of whether or not y'all want to hate on him, he's a gamer. So if he speaks his mind about games, let the motherfucker talk. He's a gamer, just like you. It's just like all these people who tell these celebrities not to talk about politics.
Mhm.
They're fucking citizens. Let them say whatever the hell they want. Just because they have a platform and you don't, that ain't their fault. Get your clout game up. Mike is a gamer. He expresses his expressions about gaming. Sure, he didn't say we at Microsoft feel that reviewers are whining. He said I feel that reviewers are whining and they suck at games.
Yeah,
which they do.
Spot the lie.
Hey, let me ask you guys a hypothetical question right quick before we get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
What if E3 2019 comes around and Microsoft has a phenomenal show? So they show a lot of great exclusives coming, some great multiplats, but they also announced that the shit about the Nintendo Switch is true. What is going to be the reaction?
Oh, I wouldn't. Me personally, I wouldn't give a fuck if they came out here and they said, you know what? All right, we've been listening. We're tired of that whiny, bitchy ass MM2K. Look, here goes Mass Effect 4, or here goes BioShock 3. You know what I'm saying? And we bought the old BioShock studio. If they came out with some fire shit, I don't give a fuck if I could play it on my Etch-a-Sketch. Then I'm getting the content that I want. And a lot of hardcore people want. They just want to see that Xbox-esque content, and I think that'll shut a lot of people up. That will bring me back to the dark side. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they need to do. But
and I gotta echo what MM2K said. Absolutely everything he just said. Look, as I said, even if the Game Pass heads to Switch, which it probably will. It doesn't change the fact that I'm getting the next Xbox. That doesn't change the fact of anything. I made a video saying I think Xbox is planning to leave the hardware business eventually, but that doesn't mean I'm planning to leave the Xbox hardware right now or anything. I'm here for the foreseeable future, right? And even with the Switch thing, I'll probably enjoy that. I probably will, all right? But at the end of the day, if that news does happen, Dirt, you're going to hear, your crap gamer have a meltdown on Twitter and all that, all right? That shit's not going away. He's going to make a video. It's going to happen.
You know what you're going to see on Twitter? Xbox had E3. I can't wait to play those games on my Switch.
It's the same thing they said about last year. And
right.
And I asked everybody, I was like, so they was like, it's just more games I can play on my PlayStation 4. So who had the better show? Sony. How, bitch? How?
Yeah,
Xbox showed more games you're gonna play.
Yeah.
So how did they not have the better show? That tells me it's not about games to you. It's about the system.
Now this year, right? This year, obviously Sony's not going to be there.
No, what the fuck?
Yeah. The Disney commercials and shit.
What the hell's happening right here?
The Disney commercials.
Hey, it's my capture card, bro. Hold on. Okay.
Oh, look at this one.
What are you watching?
Hey, man, if you don't get out of here with them Teletubbies, man, come on.
This man out here watching Disney commercials.
I'm done.
Hey, yo, this man trying to get a sneak peek at Beyonce and that new Lion King movie. Man. Get the hell out of here.
Hey, MM2K, this is almost like that J-Wax one when that dude hopped in here out of nowhere.
Man.
I'll never forget that, bro.
All right. Hold on. Shit just went left, right?
When these next systems come out, the Xbox, the PS5, I'm going to have them both. And like right now, I turned my Xbox on for 3 things. 1, my wife wants to play something because she refuses to play on the expensive ass computer that she has. So, and that's just her choice. It is what it is. So my wife wants to play something. Like we're gonna play Division 2 on it. I think she wants to start playing Anthem, so we're gonna start doing that. That 2, I get sent a free game because I get free codes and all that all the time. I tell them I want PC, but if they send me a free Xbox code, I'm going to play a goddamn game on Xbox. If they send me a free PlayStation code, I'm playing on PlayStation. And 3, Destiny 2. That's it. That's literally the only reason I ever turn my Xbox on.
Why you don't play Destiny 2 on the PC?
Because I can never find fucking lobbies to do the stuff that I want to do. Like all of my Destiny 1 people are on Destiny 2 on Xbox.
And that's
play with the people I want to play with.
Hey, Mass, it's the same shit with Anthem, and it's fucking annoying. All right,
like, I have it.
Hey, Mass, I got the game on.
I never play with the people.
I got it on PC, but I just don't want to start over.
That is another thing, and I think that's what kept everybody on Xbox. I had it day one on PC. I think I'm like level 30 something. So I'm like halfway there, but I was like, all the people that were playing it consistently on PC, PC get so many games that people just move on quick.
Yeah, true.
And
If they
there's certain games that are staples. CS:GO, Overwatch now, like people are always going to play those games. But
yeah,
Destiny 2 is one of those. If you're not part of the YouTube crowd, you're not going to find people like it. Finding Crucible lobbies is stupid. It's just, especially comp lobbies and stuff like that. So that's the only reason I don't play on PC.
Why did the population drop on PC though?
Because, like I said, PC gets so many games that people just move on.
Yeah, quick. They don't stay dedicated. Yeah, they don't.
If a game doesn't like take over, like Apex, people are going to be on Apex for a minute. So that's one of them games where you'll always be able to find some people to play with. But Destiny, and especially because Apex is so, hop in, hop out. You can single, you can, duos. You can hop in any way you want. Destiny, a lot of the matchmaking requires their shitty ass Activision servers to listen for people that are close to you, and so it takes longer because they don't have actual hosted servers, right? So it's just trash to find people. So that's the only reason I play Destiny 2 on Xbox. The only reason. I probably have. I think I have like 1,100 hours or some shit like that.
All right. Dirt probably wants to wrap up the show because he's got to go to bed and shit. But before you wrap up, Mass, just because we have you, I gotta bring this up and we'll finish it up in hopefully like just 5 minutes. But what about this PlayStation getting some multiplayer games, Mass? What's going on? I thought they were going to do that. I thought they needed only the third party. What the fuck's going on, Mass?
Yeah. So this is the thing.
If you made a prediction, I want you to repeat that prediction because I think it may come true.
So people kept going on and on about how PlayStation didn't need multiplayer and they're not going to do it. They're going to stick to the single player. And so I said their new CEO said otherwise. And everybody was like, no, they don't need to do it. I was like, yes, they do. They need, just like Xbox needs to cover all genres, PlayStation needs to cover all genres. They also think so. No, they don't. Okay. But then Sean Layden comes out and says, yeah, so we've been lacking behind in the multiplayer area. It's something we're going to look to focus on, get better in and look for opportunities to excel in it coming up here in the foreseeable future. Why is that? I don't know, because his damn boss told him so. Like I said, and I told everybody then, they're gonna look to go this way because that's the way the trend is going. They're gonna look for cloud services. Are they still gonna make single player games? Absolutely,
and that'll be the main focus.
That's still gonna be what PlayStation does. But they know, just like everyone else knows, you either get on board or get left behind. Blockbuster thought the same thing. Blockbuster could have bought Netflix for $25 million.
Ain't that some shit?
And Netflix put them out of business. So they know, just like everybody else knows, you get on board or you get ran the hell over.
Look at GameStop.
Same thing. They pushed back for so long. At the beginning of this generation, everybody was talking about how Xbox was trying to put GameStop out of business. We are 6 years in. Look, GameStop about to go out of goddamn business.
And because they aren't even crying or anything. We don't care.
Right. They didn't hop on the bandwagon until after the fact.
That's a big reason why GameStop was pushing PlayStation over Xbox, because they felt threatened by the
they felt threatened
by the 10 game.
Yes, they felt threatened by the family sharing plan and all those things. They felt threatened, and lo and behold, everything started to turn towards these services, and now GameStop is about to go out of business. Nobody really gives a fuck. Everybody talking about, oh, I want physical. Oh, I want physical.
No, they don't.
Sure, that shit sounds great. I haven't bought physical game, not outside of a collector's edition, in a decade. But I game on PC. So to me, buying physical game or buying digital games on Xbox and PlayStation just seemed like it worked. And then now everybody's like, well, I can do game sharing and all this. Like, I thought y'all was all buying physical games. How the fuck are you doing game sharing? Because the way PlayStation told me I got to do it was I got to walk up to somebody and say, "Here, play my game." Y'all remember that commercial? Right. I remember that commercial. That's not how y'all doing it now. Y'all niggas doing it over the internet like everybody else.
Yep.
So PlayStation knows they need to get on this bandwagon. Everybody's talking about third party has multiplayer games unlocked. Third party is making every type of game.
Right.
So they're not making games to the level. Well, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, because over the last month, if I name all the big games that came out: Far Cry New Dawn, that's single player. Metro Exodus, that's single player. Resident Evil 2, single player. Yeah. Right. So you got
Kingdom
Jump
Hearts.
Force. Right.
Kingdom Hearts,
right. Kingdom Hearts, single player. You got Jump Force. You got Crackdown. Like
Anthem,
you got
multiplayer.
Anthem. Those are your multiplayer games. But last time I checked, that looked like a damn even split.
Yep.
And actually, more single player games got released.
Hey, yo, Mass.
Yo,
I got a question for you.
what's up?
Is it far-fetched to believe that with these newly acquired studios, that these new games that Microsoft will releasing will be able to be played natively on the PlayStation console?
Yes, as it stands right now. And I said this earlier. It's because as long as Microsoft is a competitor in the console space, PlayStation is not going to feed their competitor money.
No. Not, I mean, like because they already got Outer Worlds already been announced for PlayStation 4.
Right, but that was before it got bought by Microsoft. Before the studio got bought by Microsoft, and it was in collaboration with a studio Microsoft doesn't own. So that's one of them things where they can't do anything about that deal. It's like when Metro made the Epic deal.
Yeah,
but they still honored the Steam pre-orders. It's the same thing.
And I wish we would have pre-ordered.
Right. It was something that was already done. And they can't undo it.
Yeah,
grandfather
clause.
Yeah. Right. So Xbox is trying to put their foot in the, hey, PlayStation, play with us. They're trying to do that. But PlayStation is not having it. And no matter what all these fanboys want to say that Microsoft is doing, like, it's crazy to me how they say Xbox lost all the goddamn time, but keep saying that everybody in the industry is going to do whatever the hell Microsoft says. That's the weirdest shit in the world. Like, if Microsoft says we're going to put our games on your system, you just going to accept that shit. How is that okay? How is that what's happening? Right, Microsoft ain't winning. How are they suddenly going to tell everybody else how they're going to react? That's not happening. PlayStation wants to control the things that they can control and make as much money as possible. And as long as Microsoft keeps trying to make systems, especially with a new system, a new generation coming out, and like I said, the new generation is 0-0. Are people on the PS4 ecosystem going to go to PS5? 100%, 1,000%, especially with the games that they have coming out. People are going to do that migration, but it's 0-0. So if Microsoft come out and put out some fire, people are going to buy that too. It's the same dichotomy. And as long as Microsoft keeps doing that, and they're not going to put their big games on the PlayStation, they're going to try to put it in that Xcloud Game Pass and say, hey, PlayStation, how about y'all let this service be on there? But then PlayStation will be like, well, now you're cannibalizing our third-party sales. Now we good. Because if it was just Microsoft games, maybe Game Pass would get there.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I mean, that's what I was thinking. Not the Game Pass or the Xcloud, but like just Microsoft published titles. Like,
yeah, and that's what I said. It's not gonna happen because whatchamacallit, PlayStation takes all the big publishers take roughly 33%. So if I put out Halo, right, on PlayStation, ain't nobody buying Xbox already. So that shit ain't gonna change nothing. But I put out Halo on PlayStation, right? Now for every Halo game, I have to give you 2/3 of the money to make more games to combat my bottom line. You think that's gonna happen? You think PlayStation's gonna be okay with that? As long as Microsoft's still making consoles?
I mean, they do it with Minecraft.
Minecraft was already out. Remember
Minecraft
when
was out for how long?
For years before Microsoft bought it.
Yeah.
Remember when that Better Together Remember when that Better Together update was supposed to come out?
Yeah.
Like even to this day, Microsoft or Minecraft on PlayStation gets updates like 3 to 4 months later than Xbox and Switch. To this day, because PlayStation didn't want an Xbox Live logo splashing across the screen. You think they're going to be okay with that on Halo? You think they're going to be okay with that on Gears?
Sean Layden seems to be a different type of I mean, I understand that was Sony then, but I don't know, man. Sean Layden seems to be a different type of breed.
Sean, I think they're buddy because he knows if Phil gets out of the hardware business, then they can do that shit. But until then, that ain't happening.
That's what it is. Until, like I said, it has nothing to do with whether Xbox wants to do it. It has everything to do with whether or not Xbox is competing with Sony directly. Once they get out of the hardware business, come on in. Put whatever the hell you want on our system. Whatever you want. Come on, put it on here. But as long as they are a rival, as long as they're selling a comparable box that'll play 90% of the same games, that shit ain't going down. PlayStation doesn't want an Xbox Live logo. They don't want Xbox Live being promoted on their system. Minecraft is the perfect example of what I'm saying. So Halo and Gears, they're 100% going to use Xbox Live servers. They're not going to use PlayStation servers. So you think they wouldn't allow it with fucking Minecraft? Minecraft sold 144 million copies. And you think they gonna allow it with a Halo? You think they're gonna allow it with a Gears? Like people go to like extreme lengths to try to amalgamate what they think is going to happen. But the reality is Sony's a business. And business-wise, that doesn't make sense because you're advertising for your rival. So as long as Microsoft out here making consoles, Sony ain't with it.
Hey, it's one thing that people, like you just said something, some people forget for whatever reason that these companies are businesses and they're going to do what's best for their business. They don't give a fuck about y'all console war about fanboys. Just always remember that, people, because people tend to forget that.
Yo, real quick, going back to the original point that Neff brought up, as far as like Sony making more multiplayer games. So you brought up the information with John Cadera, his mentality against it, and they still didn't believe him. And then you brought up the article with Sean Layden as well. Does that mean they're not credible anymore? The PlayStation honchos in like the PlayStation hardware.
Actually, someone tried telling that to Mass. He says, "Well, these people always say this shit. These execs always say this shit, and they're not always telling the truth." So and Mass is like, "You're the one who cheerleads all this shit, and now you're trying to throw them under the bus because you can't accept the reality." And you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Nobody is safe now.
Hold on, before we leave, just a massive point real quick about, competition and all that and advertising your competitor. And then, Dirt, I'll let you finally end the show. A great example of this, and it's related to media and gaming, is Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or Infinite, whatever the hell the newest one was, right?
Yeah.
What happened with that game was there was no X-Men characters or any Fox-like character in there because of Fox having, the X-Men or whatever at their side of their studio. The misconception about the game is people assumed Fox had the video game rights to all those characters, but that's not the truth. Disney has always owned the video game rights to X-Men and all that.
Disney don't want to have anything to do with those characters.
Yeah, no, Disney has always owned the video game rights to X-Men, Fantastic Four, and all that, Noah. But the problem is they don't want those characters being advertised on their shit.
Right. Yeah, they were gonna kill off all the characters and
the comics. Yeah, they basically did do that. But the reason
they own them now,
the reason you didn't see Wolverine, and that's why Wolverine's back in the comics. But the reason you didn't see Wolverine and whatever in the new Marvel vs. Capcom isn't because Disney didn't own the rights. Capcom could have used them if Disney allowed them to, but Disney didn't want you advertising Wolverine and shit because it was over there at Fox, where the money mattered with the movies. That's what Mass Carter means.
I never knew that. If Sony didn't play fair, if Sony didn't play ball with Disney and Marvel, they likely would have killed Spider-Man off too.
Yeah, but, and even with the whole Spider-Man thing, that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, they had to do that because the Amazing Spider-Man series just wasn't doing it. It wasn't hitting the numbers. Like you see the Avengers and hitting those numbers, and Avengers, that shit only grows. Like Endgame, that's gonna blow your mind how well that movie fucking does. So that's why Sony had to hop on that train.
And what's crazy
with Marvel
is that when those Sony papers popped out, and even though this was kind of known,
Talking about the emails.
yeah, like Sony's contracts with Marvel, when they purchased everything, all had a clause in it, like that you have to put out a movie every X number of years, or the license automatically reverts.
Yeah, that's why you got Blade and Daredevil back at Marvel. That's what happened to Fox.
Right. You have to make a property, like you have to continue to push this property every X amount of years, or it automatically goes back.
And that's why you got that shitty Fantastic Four movie. They had to put it out.
It's really not so much Marvel as Disney. Disney is the control freak.
Well, Disney now, they just want all their properties back. So they're just going to do whatever they need to. They are right now at this point in time, they're the evil, mega billionaire. They can just throw money at it and drown everybody in it. Like, here, keep drowning in this guap. We promise you give us Spider-Man, we'll let you make a game because we don't really give a damn about video games. It's the same reason they keep letting EA fuck up Star Wars. They don't actually care. They don't. They know that as long as you put out a game around the time we need one so that our revenue stream could get increased, we're good to go. You pay me up front, I get what I need. So I don't care how shitty this game is, how it's full of microtransactions, just like Star Wars Battlefront 2. Disney didn't step in until it was on Good Morning America. We had been saying the whole time during the beta, this is trash. This shit is trash. Oh my God, these loot boxes are crazy. This shit is pay to win. But until it was on Good Morning America, till it was on CNN, Disney didn't step in because they didn't give a damn. But now you're making Disney look bad. So, hey, fix your shit. You can't be killing off Star Wars. Fix your shit, EA. So they had to fix it. But Disney doesn't really care. So, hey, you want to make a game? Go ahead. I don't give a damn. Give us the movie property because that's where we're going to make our money. We're going to make billions on putting Spider-Man in 2 goddamn movies. Just the thought of him being in Civil War, it sold that movie exponentially.
Facts, it did. And even with a whole clause thing, what's an interesting clause about that is, and in case where a studio was to be bought out, the rights to the Marvel character they had is non-transferable. Because if you guys are keeping up, there's a rumor that Apple may buy Sony Pictures, right? And I was trolling with this on PlayStation, but anyways, that's not going to happen. But if Apple buys Sony Pictures, believe it or not, Apple doesn't get the rights to Spider-Man because they're non-transferable. Meaning the rights to Spider-Man go automatically back to Marvel and then Disney. That's why Disney probably isn't even going to buy back Spider-Man. They're probably going to get it back automatically.
I'm going to tell you, the 3 biggest
stick around probably.
The 3 biggest entertainment companies in the U.S. is Comcast, Disney, and I think the last one is Turner.
Yeah,
like they own a lot of things that people don't. A lot of companies people don't realize.
And even back to the original point, and I swear we're going to end this shit, but back to the original point with the advertising a rival thing, a lot of people assume Disney canceled all those Netflix shows, but they didn't cancel like how you thought you did. As soon as they announced the Disney service and basically we're going to have Hulu automatically because they bought Fox, it was Netflix that opted to end that shit. It wasn't Disney. It was Netflix saying, why the fuck are we going to advertise your characters if you're going to make a whole new platform without us?
Bad decision.
That's what happened.
Crazy shit. That sounds like decision. Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah. That's what fucking
crazy
happened.
That they didn't want to advertise for their rival. Crazy shit. Weird.
Yeah, it wasn't that Disney went in you're not going to have these characters anymore. No,
Disney is huge.
It was Netflix fuck you, Disney, for
Disney
doing
is the evil empire.
They are.
Disney is literally the empire from Star Wars.
Yeah.
They are.
They are. At this point in time. If
you rank them, I think Disney's the largest. Then it's Comcast. Then it's Turner, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And Disney is huge, but especially after that Fox acquisition.
Oh yeah. That's what sealed Disney being
scared. They literally just kept throwing
they on ESPN, bro.
They were getting pushback of other people trying to buy it, and they literally just threw their dick on the table and was like, beat us.
Disney
every time they kept making a new offer, they just rolled out more dick. Like, here you go.
Mickey Mouse owns ESPN, bro.
And on that note,
we out.
On that note, we're going.
Hey, Dirk, you don't lost some ad sponsors. Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. This nigga talking about bratwurst on their podcast.
This was a kid show.
Yeah.
It was a kid show.
Speaking of Disney, this was going to be on the Mickey Mouse Hour.
This is what happens when y'all wake me up. Okay.
Man.
Well, with that said, you gonna close out Griggity?
Man.
Bratwurst and shit, man.
Wait till they bring Xbox Live to the Switch. There's gonna be a lot of potty mouth.
It's already there.
Oh, shit, man. All right, y'all. We're about to get out of here. Thank you for the special guests. We got my man Op and Mass and Noah showed up right at the end, just like a nigga
as always.
Hey. No, I'm never on time.
with his Beyonce porn, you know what I'm saying?
All right, yo, we about to get out of here. Peace out.
All right, peace.
This
All right, bro.